Okay, welcome to season 1, episode 2 of Z School. Today's not so much training. What we did last week was we set up and provisioned a basic Zoho 1 system, but we didn't really talk about what Zoho 1 is. And the reason I'm doing this session is we're just going to show you what's in Zoho 1 because there's a lot. Not everybody uses all of it, but I think everybody should use more of it. And so I wanted to do this because we set up Zoho 1 last week, but we didn't really talk about what it is. I'm just going to. So Zoho calls themselves the operating system for business. And what Zoho is, I don't know, 15 or 17,000 people around the world. And they run their entire company on software they wrote. Every business app they use, they wrote. They believe a business can use nothing but Zoho products. And so Zoho 1 currently has 50 plus applications. Very hard to get an exact count because they're always adding. These apps talk to each other, and there's a mobile version of most of them, free version. If you have Zoho, you have the mobile version. Because Zoho's in the cloud, it runs on a tablet, a phone, or a computer. Doesn't care if it's a Windows or a Mac. And so I just wanted to talk about the 50 apps. I try to make these sessions between 20 and 30 minutes, so we can spend about 20 seconds per app. Couple more things before we get started. I really recommend that you take a survey of all the software your business uses. And I find that if you're a very, very small company, one-person shop, you know what you buy and you know what you pay for because you've got to reconcile your credit card every month. And if you're a very large company, you'll have an IT department. They're going to control what kind of software gets brought into the company. Accounting groups can generally manage the budgeting. But if you're in the middle of say a 10 to 100 person company, too small for a full-blown IT department, what I find is that a lot of companies, they buy software at the department level. So the marketing people will go out and buy Macs, and they'll get Photoshop, or they'll get graphic design tools, and salespeople will buy CRM, marketing people will buy email marketing tools, social media tools. And nobody really is aware of what the other departments are buying. And no one really knows what you're spending on software. There's also a lot of companies, they're all on a subscription model now. So when you sign up for something, say Adobe, you buy it because you need it, and then you wind up paying for it every month, and you just forget. It's kind of like your streaming subscriptions at home. You sign up for stuff, and then you forget that you're paying for it. So it's always good to take a survey of all the things you buy, and there's a good chance that some of those things can be done with the Zoho 1 that you already have. You just got to turn them on and use them. Going to go through the most popular apps first, and I call them hierarchical, and that just means you come in the morning, you turn them on, and they stay on all day, like your email. If you're an accountant, you get into the accounting system. If you're a salesperson, you get into the CRM. These are the apps that I think are hierarchical. Zoho CRM is kind of the core app. It's where your customers are. Because these videos are going on YouTube, I gotta mention that a lot of the words I use here are copyrighted. I'm just kind of showing functional equivalence. Zoho CRM isn't the only CRM in the world. There is Salesforce, HubSpot, things like that. Zoho Books is an accounting system. Although I quite often use Zoho Books for estimating, for generating quotes. You don't have to use the accounts payable, accounts receivable parts of it, but you can. We do. But we do. A lot of people just use it to generate quotes. Zoho Desk is a help desk kind of trouble ticketing system. If a customer has a complaint or a return or a tech support question, they can raise the ticket and then you resolve the ticket. Campaigns is email marketing, Constant Contact, MailChimp. Sales IQ, later on I'll stop recording because I'm going to show you some live examples. I love this product. It shows you who's on your website, how they got there, and allows you to chat with customers. For some customers, it's a great lead generation tool. And then finally, analytics, which is their business reporting. It's called business intelligence. It can report on really any data, not just Zoho data. So if you have other, a manufacturing system or an accounting system, we can actually bring that data in and blend it with CRM data, other Zoho data, and report on it. Give you dashboards that are company-wide, not just Zoho-wide. There's some other apps I'll mention, then I'm going to go into our system and just show you the rest of them. And again, I got to kind of go quickly. If you have questions, please raise them in the Q&A part. I think you have access to that. There's a suite of what's called personal productivity. This is Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. I'm using PowerPoint right here, Zoho Show. Zoho has its own mail system, which is equivalent to, say, Google Mail or Outlook. And it's also the mail server. We use it. I like it a lot. And then Zoho has a thing called Click, which is internal messaging like Slack. So I'm going to go over to the Zoho One dashboard now. Pull up the directory. We were here last week. These are the apps I've currently turned on. I'm going to talk about them quickly or not at all. Calendar is like your Outlook calendar. I use it. It's a very nice calendar. It connects to all the different Zoho apps, and it can connect to a Google Calendar or an Outlook calendar. A lot of us live with different calendars. We have a personal and a work calendar. Zoho calendar can connect to all those and put them in one spot. Contacts is a very light CRM. Don't really use it much. CRM we've already turned on for 2 users in our little fake company here. Zoho Meeting is basically Zoom. We're using it right now to do this webinar. A lot of you set up Zoho meetings with me. I'm going to skip resource booking and sales inbox. Sheet is Excel, Show is PowerPoint. To do is a task management tool. I don't use it much. Work Drive is a little hidden gem inside Zoho. If you have Zoho One, Work Drive is like it's like Google Drive or Dropbox, but you get 5,000 gigabytes or more, depending on how many licenses you buy. But it starts at 5 terabytes. It's a huge amount of storage. Again, all these apps, we're gonna over the year go into each one and explore them in depth. Today, I just want to let you be aware of what's in there. And then Zoho Writer is basically their version of Word. I vastly prefer it to Word. Much easier to use. I haven't used Word in years. Kind of weird to say that. Now I've got 44 more apps that I could turn on. I could add them to my system. I don't have to turn them on, but they're there and they cost nothing. They're part of Zoho One. You can develop contracts here and get them signed. There's also another Zoho app called Zoho Sign. very similar to DocuSign. So if you do a lot of contracts, sending out contracts to customers, use these tools. You can create landing pages for your website. Sales IQ. I'm going to demonstrate that later, but it tells you who's on your website, how they got there, and allows website visitors to chat with you. I'll skip this. Notebook is like a very nice notebook app. PageSense tells you how your website is being consumed. It will tell you how far down each page people get before they quit, what links they click on, what pages are the most popular. Zoho Mail is the equivalent of Outlook. Zoho Assist lets you remotely control another computer. If I need to get onto your computer to look at a problem, with your permission, I can use this to do that. You can also get to one of your own machines. Say you're at home and you want to get to your office machine. You could put Assist on your office machine and then access it from home. Backstage is basically Eventbrite. You can create a 3-day webinar with speakers, sell tickets, have agendas, set up venues. It's for managing events. Begin is another light CRM product. Sometimes I tell people, if you want to keep a list of contacts out of the CRM system, say you want to have your doctor and your friends or high school reunion or something, use this. Keep them out of CRM. Just use this. Bookings is essentially Calendly. It allows people to book you online. You guys use it when you book time with us. It puts my calendar up on the web, shows you when I'm available to talk, and then you can book a slot and it will automatically create a Zoho meeting for us. Zoho Books is the accounting package. Campaigns is the email. By the way, we're only on the C's, so I've got to go kind of quick here. Click is like Slack. It's an internal messaging tool that employees can message, but you can also, it's got some AI ability to it. It'll tell you if a customer paid an invoice in Books, if a customer opened up a ticket in Desk, it'll warn you that something's happening there. Zoho Checkout is a payment gateway for if you have a website where you sell product. Zoho Commerce is actually your web store. It's essentially Shopify. Creator is a developer tool. It's where I can build an app for you. If you need something built specially to manage something, we build it there. I can show you examples of it. Data Prep is a data massaging tool. I use it heavily to convert your old data, say ACT data, into Zoho. It allows me to prep the data. Once I give it all the rules of how I want the data to be massaged, I can set up a schedule and bring in the data, say, every night. So say you have data in an accounting system and you want some of that data to go into CRM, we would use Data Prep to grab it, clean it up, put it in a Zoho friendly format and put it into Zoho. Expense is a nice little utility. It tracks your expenses. You can just take a picture of a receipt. It'll categorize it for you as travel, hotel, meals, and then you submit those expenses. That's a really nice little app. Zoho Flow is similar to Zapier. It connects to thousands of web apps. I can write a rule, say I want to connect it to my Facebook, and if someone becomes my friend, I want to add them to CRM, or I want to add a row to an Excel spreadsheet. Just think of any website out there. If something happens, I can make something happen somewhere else. Zoho Forms or web forms. So you can put a form on the site, could be an employment form, a lead form, and then decide where you want to send it. Inventory is what you think it is. It manages your inventory, part of the finance suite. Invoices, books light. It does invoicing without being a full-blown accounting. Zoho Learn is a learning management system. You can give your employees like coursework and make them take tests so they can certify on certain chapters. I'll skip Lynn's marketing. This allows field service people to like show you issues with their phones, or customers, like they could show you what's wrong with their furnace or something. It's kind of a field service tech support tool. Marketing automation is a very sophisticated, you put customers or leads on journeys. You can fax them, text them, email them, lots of ways to interact with them. Kind of a, I'd say more like a HubSpot type product. Zoho has its own payroll. It's not in every state, but it's in a lot of states now. Again, they use it. You can actually manage your payroll with that. Zoho People is time and attendance. So basically your time clock. People can check in even on their phones. They can log their hours. They can log them against projects. So I spent 3 hours on this project today, 2 hours on this project. Zoho Projects, project management tool. Connect is kind of like the company bulletin board. All of the company manuals, forms. It's like a town hall type thing. Recruit is very nice. Excuse me. Still getting over this thing. You can create a job opening in your company, and then you can post it to Monster Indeed to over 300 job sites. When you get responses, believe the resumes that come in, Zoho will parse them and pull them apart. So that if you said, I want to find everybody who speaks French and who lives in, Kansas, it'll tell you here's the candidates. So it manages the recruiting process. Analytics we use very heavily. We're going to spend a lot of time on that in this course. It's the business reporting. This is a cool little quirky tool, but it's RPA, robotic process automation. A good use of it, you could teach it to do almost anything on your computer. A good example I have is, let's say you have a customer, a lead in CRM, and they become a customer, and now you got to type them into the accounting system. Let's say the accounting system is a desktop system. You could teach the little robot to just scrape the CRM lead and automatically populate the accounting system. So you don't have to type in the addresses and phone numbers and all that stuff. Zoho Sign is the contract signing tool, like DocuSign. Zoho Sites is a website builder like WordPress. Zoho Social manages all of your social media posts, everything from X and TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Sprints is software development, kind of. It's a version of projects, but it's the idea is you break a big project down into little sprints. It's a methodology for getting things done. Basically, you have your developers sprinting all the time, but you can manage that. If you sell a recurring product, like a subscription-based product, Zoho Billing will manage that for you. Basically, people can go on your site, sign up, give their credit card, and manage their subscriptions without you having to do it. Zoho Desk, we talked about, is the trouble ticketing system. And Zoho Survey is like Survey Monkey. You can send out surveys. And then finally, Zoho Vault is a password keeper, and it can be personal or it can be corporate wide. So you can share passwords with other users if if 5 people need to get into a system, you could keep it in Vault. I'm probably going to send out a survey if I get the time next week to see like which ones you guys would want to look at first. We're probably going to start with CRM just because it's the most commonly used app, but I do want to like take these wherever you want. So I'm actually going to stop recording. Again, we record these because we put them on YouTube. You hear my croaky voice at the moment. I'm going to show you some real live examples, and I don't want those on YouTube. Got to be careful about information I put up there. So I'm going to stop recording. I'm going to show you a couple of these apps and how rich they can be. But the whole idea is that you might be paying for Zoom or for DocuSign or for MailChimp, and you shouldn't. These tools are here. They're part of your subscription, and they're already integrated with Zoho. So let me stop recording.